Welcome to my YouTube video today, and my question for you today is what is the one thing that would change your life, change your finances, change your business, or change different things that surround you in your life? And that one thing is called attitude. Now, I want to share just some notes with you for the next few moments. And the question is, what is attitude? I've written this down from earlier, and it states that attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically reflected in a person's behavior. It is the combination of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions towards a particular object, person, or an event, or a circumstance. But at its core, attitude determines how you interpret events and how you respond to them. So there's three main components in this, and we stated that it's thoughts, feelings, and actions. So let us take a brief look at these three components for the next few moments. So your thoughts really create your story in life. And as the biblical statement in the book of Proverbs states, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the first thing we're being told about, even in the Bible, it's about your thoughts. So what are you thinking about each moment of the day? Because remember, it's our thoughts that create the reality that we have. It shapes our present and it also shapes our future. Sometimes we can look at our bank balance. Some of us might be very happy with the results that we see. Some of us might be very unhappy with the results what we see. But the reality of it is, it's what you have been thinking about in your life each and every day, each and every moment, that is reflected on that particular bank statement. I'm just using that as an example. But we can see it being good news or we can see it being bad news. But the wonderful thing is that you can change those results. You can change your thoughts, you can change your feelings, and you can change your actions. So our feelings give us that emotional energy or those emotional thoughts. How you feel about something is really based on your beliefs. Now, sometimes we have got beliefs from our parents or our grandparents or our school teachers, and sometimes those beliefs haven't really, given us the right results that we want in our life. But we can also borrow beliefs from people who have had success in the areas that we want to succeed in. We can borrow their beliefs. And it's really important that we can do those things because we have to understand that those beliefs can be changed. There's we can also look at things with a different set of eyes or perception. It's also one of our higher mental faculties because creating new feelings is really, really important. We're looking at negative thoughts, those negative thoughts will create anger, they will create fear, they will create anxiety or frustration. Whereas we have that positive feeling, we and which we've all experienced negative and positive, but with the positive feeling, we have thoughts of there's hope, there's thoughts of a positive future, there's thoughts of excitement, there's thoughts of motivation, all positive thoughts, and they reflect our attitude throughout that day. When you have those happy thoughts, you're going to be in a very happy place. People will see that on you. It's just the way that it is. But when it's negative, they will also see that in you as well. It can be a higher or lower form of energy. But your thoughts lead to action, or they can also lead to inaction. So if you think you're going to fail or you think you're going to be afraid of a particular thing, you're probably not ever going to try it. And that's the worst thing that you can ever do. It's worth trying every single thing. If you think that you're going to grow and you feel determined, you'll take bold steps because it's your behavior that will reinforce that attitude. Each time you take aligned action with your attitude gets stronger. Look, from the notes that I have here, let's look at this example. If you have a positive attitude, you will act with enthusiasm. People will respond well to you, which gives you the feedback that reinforces your positivity. But alternatively, if you act with fear or doubt, you're likely to create outcomes that confirm your negative beliefs. And let's look at how these all work together because it really is a loop. So when we look at, we have thoughts, we have feelings, we have actions, and then the last thing that we have is the results that we have in our life on a daily basis. Now, if we look at the two sides, the negative and the positive, let's look at the negative here. I'll never succeed. It's a thought. Or on the positive side, I can figure this out. That's also a thought. You feel discouraged. Negative. Or the positive would be you feel motivated. You don't try hard, which is the negative, or you take action, which is the positive. You fail or stagnate, which is the negative, or you make progress, which is the positive. You believe even more that you're a failure, which again is the negative, or alternatively, you believe even more that you're capable, which is the positive. And this is why changing your thoughts is the most powerful way to transform your attitude and ultimately your outcomes. Our attitude, it really is the secret weapon in your life. It's your personal power source. It's the filter of which you see everything, and it determines what you do with life, and it determines what way your life will work with the things that are thrown at you throughout your life. You see, life doesn't really care where you come from, it only cares that you show up. Now, I know you've heard that phrase before from maybe different mentors and things, but it really only cares how you show up. But how you show up is determined by one thing and one thing only, and that is your attitude. So let us take a look as well at attitude in the workplace. How does it affect maybe the entrepreneur or the employee, and how attitude can be a factor in the results that we create. But your attitude determines your altitude. Again, this is one that we've all heard before. Your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. But it's not just a catchy phrase or something that we've heard before. It really is the truth. So some of the most successful people that we've seen out there, education wasn't their forte. Like, they didn't have the highest IQ. Maybe exams that they did in the past, didn't really work out for them. Maybe they didn't get those lucky breaks. But we all have an example of somebody that we know who had the right attitude and climbed to the summit of their mountain. They started with that belief. They started with a mindset and an attitude said that I will not quit. I will never give up. I will learn. I'm prepared to learn. I will rise. It's the correct attitude that they had, that right mindset. And they did fall. Each and every entrepreneur that's out there falls. Most of them go broke at some stage, but they have the ability to get back up again. Because attitude doesn't just stop at success. It's the struggle that you get through that helps you develop. And that's all about that attitude. And you can't always control life, but you can control attitude in every single thing that you do. You can't control the economy. You cannot control the traffic that's out there. You cannot control what other people might say about you, whether it be positive or negative. But you can control your response, and your response is everything. And it's really important that we start to look at that we have choices each and every day. Every day you and I have that choice. We can choose to focus on the problems, or we can choose to focus on the possibilities. We can dwell in fear, or we can rise in faith. But what is it? It's your choice. You can complain or you can create. When we look at creation, why we use our imagination, which is one of our highest mental faculties. We can create a new life, a new way, new results by using this creation. But the choice is yours. It's all about attitude and action. I want to just paint a quick picture that I heard before from the late great motivator Jim Rohn, phenomenal businessman as well. But he said 2 people lose their job on the same day. He said they had the same role, they have the same income, they have the same setbacks. He said one states that this is the end of the road for me, and the other states that this is the start of something new. He said one waits to be rescued by somebody else. He said while the other starts learning new skills, calling old contacts, and showing up to new opportunities. And the reality is that a few months later, one is still stuck and the other is thriving. It's the same event, but just a different attitude. And we all know somebody, or we all know 1 or 2 people that have been like that in their lives. One has been bogged down with the particular event that they went through, where the other got through the mud because of their attitude and decided to push forward. But attitude is contagious. So what are you spreading? You walk into a room, you want to be walking into that room with energy, with vitality, with purpose, with positivity, because you raise the room, you raise the energy in that room. And again, we all know somebody, friends, family members, work colleagues, that raise that vibration when in the room. Walk in with negativity, you leave bitterness or blame, you lower that down. As Bob Proctor once said before, be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Love that line. It's such a simple one. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. So set the tone. Don't reflect it. And look, I suppose to finish up this video, how do we set about having or building a winning attitude? So let's just share some tools that I've got before from other mentors. And it states that start each day with gratitude. Each day, name a few things that you're very grateful for, because gratitude flips your focus from lack to abundance. Watch your language. What is the language that you're using each and every day? Say it out loud and say to yourself words that shape the belief in your life. Surround yourself with winners. Surround yourself with people who are influential to you that will help you move the needle forward. Because anything that moves the needle forward is a positive. Take responsibility. Remember, winners' own attitude. They don't blame the traffic, they don't blame their boss, they don't blame the government, they don't blame their family or their work colleagues. They actually ask, what can I do? And decide daily that attitude is a one time choice. It's a daily decision. Sometimes it's an hourly decision, but choose it over and over again. And finishing off here, we'll say that fix the attitude and unlock the altitude. Because the truth is, it is the most important asset that you have is not your bank account. It's in your mind, it's in your spirit. That's what it is. So today I challenge each and every one of you. Look, check your altitude. Check your attitude. Choose your attitude and charge forward with the right attitude. Because the world doesn't give you what you deserve, it gives you what you expect. So work for it and believe in yourself and create what you truly want to create. But it all starts with attitude. Let's go. Let's give it a really good shot. Have the right attitude. Move forward with your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, and get the results that you truly want in your life. I hope this video has been some help to somebody today. Please leave a comment for me, subscribe to our channel, and see can we help you with some more content over the next few days. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.